Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a fabulous weekend. Today I have my most used small leather goods. I asked you guys on Instagram if you wanted to see either my wallet collection or my most used SLGs, and it was really close, but the SLGs definitely came out on top. I do try to rotate my items as much as possible. However, I feel that the ones that I'm about to share with you are the ones that I'm constantly gravitating towards, and I'll give you a little bit of information on each of them as well. So I hope that you find this video helpful, especially if you're looking to add more pieces to your collection. And without further ado, let's get started, shall we? I also wanted to break up the video into fashion houses, that way they're not all over the place and it could be a little bit more cohesive, you know what I mean? Alright, so let's start off with Louis Vuitton. Now the first item definitely won't be a surprise. I have talked about it multiple times, so I won't give you guys a huge earful on it by any means whatsoever. But it is by far the best all-time small leather good in my opinion, and that is the 6-ring key holder in the monogram canvas. Now I have had this for 10 plus years, and even though I haven't used it as much lately, only because I do have another one in my collection that I've been giving a little bit more attention to, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I use this thing for 10 plus years every single solitary day. I've never had to get it repaired, and the best reason, or the best thing that I can say about this, the reason why I think it's such a phenomenal piece is because it houses your keys, and it keeps not only your bag's interior looking great for as long as possible, it ensures that it doesn't end up getting scratched or poked by any of the keys that that they have inside. And a lot of people feel that this is very antiquated. They feel that it's very, you know, why would you go for this? You know, why wouldn't you just use something different? But I just really like the fact that I have all of my keys in one little small leather good, and I do love the fact that I can kind of separate them, you know what I mean? So it's gotten to the point where I memorize what's what, or in the order that I need it for, you know what I mean? So I think that this is phenomenal. It has yet to fail me, you know what I mean? And yes, it is, you know, it's starting to peel. It doesn't look as attractive as it once did once upon a time. But like I said before, for having had it for 10 plus years and using it the way that I do, I don't baby this item by any means whatsoever, and I think it is just a fantastic, fantastic piece. And I even got it a little hot stamp there. Usually I'm not too crazy about getting anything hot stamped. It has to be something that I will forever have in my collection, hence why I got it monogrammed. Alright, so the 6-ring key holder from Louis Vuitton. Alright, the next one is my round coin purse in the monogram canvas as well. The reason why I love this, or the reason why I use it so much, is because I'm not one to use coins inside of my wallets. I know that a lot of wallets end up having slots dedicated for coins or anything like that, but for me, I'm not too crazy about seeing the coin residue inside of wallets. It's not for me, not saying that it's wrong, it's just not something that I am attracted to. I don't like seeing the residue when I open up my wallet, you know what I mean? So the fact that I can end up putting everything inside of a little coin purse like this, and the fact that it doesn't take up too much space is perfect. It's very slender, so I can put this in any one of my handbags without taking up too much space. And I have tried other coin purses before, but for me, I just like the design that this one has. Like I said before, I love how slender it is, and the fact that I can just grab the coins that I need without any problems, without them going flying all over the place, and also the fact that it has a zipper, so it keeps it a little bit more secure. So the round coin purse I think is phenomenal. I've said it before, I really wish that they would end up introducing this in not necessarily the illustration collections, because I know they come out from time to time, but if they made like a Damier Azur one or a Damier Ben one just by itself with the canvas, because I think it really adds to how carefree it is, you know what I mean? So the round coin purse and the monogram canvas. Alright, the next ones are my key pouches or my Cles. When it comes to the Empreinte one, I actually have 3 in my collection. The Noir, I have the Cerise, which is this beautiful red, and I also have the Rose Ballerine, which is a very light pink. Out of the 3, I end up using the Noir the most for a few different reasons. Number one, I like the fact that it's black. It can end up going in any handbag, and I don't have to worry about color transfer, especially if I'm looking to use my Damier Ben pieces from Louis Vuitton. It does have that rich, beautiful red interior, but if I was to use my Rose Ballerine, for example, I'd end up getting color transfer. So if I have the Noir, I don't have to worry about it. I also like the size of the Empreinte cases, or the Empreinte key pouches. Sometimes I end up using them as a catch-all. Mostly I end up using them them as a wallet just because of their size. Again, you can end up putting coins back here. I don't end up doing that only because I have my round coin purse, but it does have this type of leather interior where you can end up cleaning off the residue if you ended up going for a lighter color, or if maybe you didn't want to see that. But another reason why this is my most used Empreinte one is because it doesn't have the chain. Robert actually helped me take the chain off, and it has made a world of difference, and I actually prefer it that way because, as I said before, I end up using this as a wallet. So sometimes the chain would definitely get it, you know, in the way. I feel like it was a little too cumbersome. So by removing it, I'm able to really maximize how much I want to fit in here. And I just think that it ends up working out, you know, better for my lifestyle. And that's another one that I ended up hot stamping because, as I said before, it's one of the ones that I knew I was going to keep in my collection forever and a day. And then the other key pouches is the Damier Ebene and then the Monogram. The Monogram was actually my very first small leather good, or my very first piece from the fashion house. So I've also had this 100+ years, and it has been it has been through it has some stories, you know what I mean. I did have to have it repaired. It was the zipper, but the zipper is starting to chip again, and that's just normal wear and tear because of how I end up using these items. So the Monogram clay I still use quite a bit. I mostly use it for if I have quite a bit. I do carry quite a bit of bobby pins, hair clips, hair ties, what have you. Sometimes I'll put other, you know, bits and bobs in here, and it ends up working out perfectly. And these also don't take up too much space, and they are incredibly versatile. But I did also want to bring something to your guys' attention. I did buy the Damier Ebene one. I think it has probably been a few years now. And when I got it, I remember that it seems like it's a lot bigger than my Monogram one. And I know that they have since revamped the style on these. Now they're a little bit more rounded. But when I bought this, I remember going to the boutique and I was kind of like, this one seems like it's a lot bigger. Check it out. Doesn't the Damier Ebene one seem like it's a lot thicker than the Monogram one up here? And when I pointed out to the sales associate, he was like, no, I don't think so. And then upon further inspection, he's like, yeah, you're right. But it could be because this one, I've used it to death, so it's flattened out over time, which is normal. And this one, you know, I haven't had nearly as long as this one, but I still thought that was kind of funny. But I feel that I can end up getting away with a lot more items in here versus this one. So call me crazy, call me whatever you want. I still think that they're different. And the last one for Louis Vuitton, that is my mini Pochette. Oh man, I have talked about this thing 100 million times. But I do have 3 in my collection. I have the trifecta, I have the Damier Ebene, I have the Monogram, and also the Damier Azur and the Tahitian collection. Out of the 3, this one I go to every single solitary time. Every single solitary time? Does that make sense? No. Every single time. This needs some major TLC, all right? Check out that zipper. It is starting to tarnish. It's starting to peel. It's not as shiny as it used to be. The gold hardware has turned into somewhat silver. I don't know. But look at this. This has like I don't even know what that is on the back of the little tab there. And the interior, it's definitely a little dingier than I would like, but I love this item. I usually end up using this as a catch-all. This is also very, very versatile. You can use it as a wallet. So many different ways to use it. So that's great. But the main reason why this is my most used is because it does have the color treated leather, so I don't have to worry about it. Since I do like to use this as a catch-all, as I mentioned, and sometimes I don't want to use a handbag or anything else. I want something that's going to be very, very carefree. That's why I end up going for this one. And not gonna lie, I love the red interior, all right? It makes my heart sing. That's something that I like. It's like, oh yeah, it's a little beat up, but then I see the red and I'm thinking, yeah, totally worth it. So I thought about getting it repaired, but at the same time, I'm just like, why? I'm just gonna continue using it the same way that I did before, and it adds a whole lot of character, so who cares, you know what I mean? So these guys are my most used pieces from the Louis Vuitton fashion house. Now for Chanel, one of my most used items is actually a tie between 3 different colors, and they are the O-zip coin purses. The first one is in the black quilted caviar leather with the gold hardware. The second is the red caviar chevron with the silver hardware, and then the third is the boy style with fuchsia caviar and the light gold hardware. And these 3, to be honest, these are the most used wallets in my entire collection between all of the fashion houses. And there's something that I love about them. I feel that in the beginning, I used to mostly carry large wallets because I mostly had large handbags. And over the years, I have really gone a little bit more compact. So the fact that these can end up fitting inside of my Neverfull, as great as they do my Louis Vuitton Alma BB, ends up working out perfectly for me. And to be honest, even though they are small and they don't take up too much space, I like the fact that when you open it up, it has this gorgeous accordion style that you're still able to get quite a bit in here. It's very generous. It has the 3 compartments, so you can end up using them however you would like. So let's say one compartment you have for cash, another one you have for coins, and another one you have for your credit cards or whatever it is. I just like the fact that it doesn't have to be too big. It doesn't have to have too much going on, and it still ends up working out perfectly. And the fact that, let's say that you have a really large wallet, and let's say that you carry 20 plus credit cards, right, at any given time, or 20 plus, it could be insurance information or whatever it is. You can end up fitting 20, 25, I think, is the most that I fit in here at one time without a problem. And it ends up zipping perfectly, you know? So the fact that you can go from a really large wallet into something like this without having to sacrifice giving up carrying something that you absolutely need to carry with you, I think is great. So it's all a matter of the mood, the color that I'm feeling. Sometimes I want to go for red. You guys know my love for red. And sometimes I just want that gorgeous pop of color, so I go for the pink, and other times I just want to go classic, you know? So then I go for this one. I will have to say that I was kind of bummed out that the boy ones come with a plastic they come with a plastic zipper, only because I really like the fact that these have the metal, you know what I mean? I feel that for the price point that they are, the metal just ends up working out perfectly. I don't have to be, I feel like when I first got this one, I thought that I was going to have to be super careful. I thought the teeth were going to pop off. I haven't had any issues, but still, I felt that had this, you know, if this had the metal hardware, it would end up being a little bit, it would snazz it up a little bit more. You know what I mean? Kind of like these. But either way, these are my, these are my tie pieces. And the last one from Chanel is my small O case in the red lambskin with the silver hardware. And I usually end up using this as a cosmetic pouch. And out of all of the cosmetic pouches that I have in my collection, this is the one that I end up gravitating towards the most because it's really been a game changer for me. And I also want that pop of color. So even though I do have some monogram pieces and I have black caviar pieces from Chanel, sometimes I just want that beautiful, vibrant red. And this is exactly what it is. It's almost like a true lipstick red. And I think it's gorgeous. But once upon a time, I always only went for caviar pieces because it's very carefree, it's all weather, I don't have to think about it, and I was very apprehensive to try lambskin leather because I felt that it would attract scratches like crazy. So I always said, no, 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 it's not for me, it's not for me. So I kept seeing this, and the color, I couldn't deny it. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go for it. But I promised myself that if I went for it, I was going to use it as I would any other item. Because sometimes I feel that when you baby the items, it really takes the joy from being able to use them, you know what I mean? Because you're constantly worrying how it's laying inside of your handbag or how you're taking it out or how you're using it or what have you. So I promised myself I wasn't going to put it in a bubble, and if it got color transfer, if it got scratches, then so be it. But at least I knew how lambskin would work out for my lifestyle before I decided to go for a handbag or anything else. So it has surprised me. It has been a game changer because I don't have any scratches on it. Even though I have scratched it, with this type of leather, all you have to do is just buff it out with your finger. It comes off. Some people end up using conditioner. I don't, but the scratches that I have had haven't been deep enough to leave any type of mark. I haven't had color transfer. And when I'm telling you, you guys, that I don't baby this, I don't baby it whatsoever. I throw it inside of my handbag. I've used it as a clutch, so it's also very, very versatile. So it adds to how much I end up using it. But there's no color transfer. And I'm thinking there's no possible way with as much as I have used it. There is no way. But check it out. You can see for yourself. Hopefully my camera is focusing so you guys can check it out. There are no scratches, nothing at all. And I like the fact that it's not as stiff as some of the other cosmetic cases that I have in my collection, because like I said before, I end up using this as a cosmetic case, and it's a lot more generous than the other ones that I have. The other ones are a little bit stiffer, and I feel I can't get away with as many items as I do in here. So I don't know, maybe it's because of the interior. This is also very soft, so it gives me a little bit more space. It has the accordion on the gussets on the side as well. So I'm still using it. I was going to get out of it when I did my what's in my bag video, but I can't deny the red. Like I said before, I always go for the red. So the lambskin small O case from Chanel is just, I love it. So that pop of color and the buttery softness that lambskin has is just amazing. So that's why I always say, if you want to try a different leather from a fashion house and you're apprehensive about it and you would like to get a bag in that leather, but you don't know how it's going to wear, try out a small leather good. It doesn't have to be an O case. It could be a wallet. It could be whatever it is, because when it comes to the small leather good, you're going to interact with it a lot more than you would the handbag, because the handbag, yeah, it has wear and tear, but these items, you're constantly taking them out of your bag. You're constantly just reaching for them, you're using them, you're opening them up, so that way you can really see, you can really figure out if that leather or if that print or whatever it is ends up working out for your lifestyle. So these guys from Chanel are my most used, but this guy, total game changer. And the last two that I want to share with you are from other fashion houses that I also like to use quite a bit when it comes to using them as wallets. And they are the Saint Laurent card holder in the black pebbled leather with the silver hardware, and the Hermès Calvi card holder in the Epsom calfskin leather, and this is in the color Rose Azalee. So what I like about these two, so even though I'm a big fan of the Chanel O-zip coin purse, and that's usually what I end up going for, other times when I want to go into something a little bit more compact that still ends up carrying just my bare essentials with me, I go for these versus some of the other card holders that I have in my collection. So when it comes to Saint Laurent, I'm a big fan of it for a few different reasons. I love the fact that it has this very durable pebbled leather. I've said it before, I feel that this leather is a lot more durable than the Chanel Caviar leather in the long run. For as long as I've had this, for as much as I've used it, the only wear and tear that you see on this is actually on the hardware. There's no indentations on the leather, there's no scratches, it's not pilling, there's no varnish wear, the stitching isn't coming undone or anything like that, so that makes me very happy. So very durable and great quality leather, especially for the price point that this has compared to some of the other fashion houses out there where their card holders end up coming in at $350, $375, $450, what have you. And another thing that I really like about this one is the fact that it also has one extra credit card slot compared to some of the other ones that I have. Most of my Chanel ones have 3 credit card slots, so the fact that you can get away with one more credit card or one more item that you absolutely need to carry with you is always a major bonus. So I'm a big fan of this one, and oftentimes I'll end up using this when we travel because it's not too loud in my opinion. I can end up just putting it this way and you really don't see any logos, but again, I feel that the quality of this leather just speaks volumes. And like I mentioned, the other one that I like to use is the Calvi, and here is the setup of it. So in the front, you don't have any logos, anything whatsoever, and then on the inside you just have the 2 compartments. And I'm a big fan of this one because it ends up fitting just as much as my Chanel O-zip coin purses do. So this one is a little bit, actually it's about the same size, but it's not as thick as the O-zip, but it still ends up working out perfectly inside of my smaller handbags or my larger handbags or whatever it is that I wanted to carry. And I'll end up putting my credit cards down here, and I'll end up putting my business cards, I'll end up putting my insurance information up here, and it ends up working perfectly. There is one thing that I do have to note, just in case you're looking to add this to your collection, because it doesn't have as many compartments as most card holders or as most wallets do. Sometimes I feel that you end up having to take out the whole stack in order to retrieve the card that you're looking for and then put it back. So it might be a little bit of a hassle for some people, but I just thought I'd mention it just in case. But like I said before, I just love, I mean, the Epsom leather is just gorgeous. It's very vibrant, and it adds that pop that I'm looking for, you know, and it's held up very well. I haven't had any issues with color transfer. I have also used this inside of my I've never used it inside of my Damier Ebene pieces, just in case, and when I do, I end up putting this inside of the mini pochette, as I mentioned. But I haven't had any problems with the wear and tear or anything like that, but you will notice that there's quite a bit of wrinkling on the corner here, and that's just really the design of the Calvi. But I'm a big fan of this small leather good from the fashion house, and just the colors that they have. My goodness, they are so vibrant, and I'm just like, oh. You know, only because I've told you before, I'm a lot more adventurous when it comes to small leather goods versus my handbags. It is what it is. There's the party inside of the handbag, not really, you know, on the outside. I don't even know if that made sense or not. But anyways, that does it for my video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to give you a little bit of information on each item, and that way if you're looking to add them to your collection, then you have that just that much more you know, that many more ideas on how you can incorporate them into your daily lifestyle. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. And I will see you guys all on Monday with another MMQA. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.